Hey, it's Conversations with the Crawleys, and we've got another relationship tip for you coming up very soon. All right, well, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin.
My name is Tarsha.
And this is, of course, Conversations with the Crawleys, where, of course, we have conversations about faith, family, relationships, and some of our recaps of our favorite shows. So if that's content that you enjoy, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button, hit the like button, and request notifications. All right, so this time we're going to talk about one of our relationship tips. We're going to talk about fear.
Right. So talking about fear in relationships, we tend to have fears, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fears of being cheated on,
Right.
Fears of if it's going to last. And a lot of times we take those fears and they turn out to be what we end up having, or things that end up playing out or predestined because of how we responding in relationships. So when we're looking at that, we have to always think in ourselves, why do we feel this way?
Right.
Why are we taking hold of those fears? When we have to realize that this is a new relationship. We're not trying to bring baggage from the past.
Right.
We're trying to treat this person as a new person. And so how do we overcome what we fear?
Right. Right. I think, we hear the adage, false evidence appearing real, fear, right? That many times what happens is that when we have fears, it's not actually there. It's kind of what we're afraid could happen.
Right.
And as a result, sometimes that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
Right. That's
it becomes that thing that now manifests because we're afraid they're going to cheat. And so now we're constantly checking phones. We're constantly doing this and we're constantly doing that. And not saying that gives them the license to, but now it becomes something that actually happens because it was your fear. And so when you're approaching a relationship, I think it's important that you recognize that, yes, everyone has a fear that it's not going to work, a fear that it's not going to be, but don't let that be the overriding emotion that keeps you from enjoying the time that you have, enjoying that relationship.
Correct.
And building that relationship, right?
Correct. Because we come to the space, it's like, okay, well, relationship is going well, but then someone may mention something, or they may say a flaw in the other person. Even if I want to just talk about personally, it's like, okay, we're engaged, we're getting married. The fear of making a mistake,
right?
The fear of choosing the wrong person. When you have to, sometimes I just kind of wrote down, I was like, okay, these are the things that I want. These are the things that I'm currently seeing. So why am I having this fear?
Right.
Why? Because I don't want to fail. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to end up in divorce. And so when you have to really face those fears and saying that it's okay, that if we make a mistake, it's okay.
Right.
But taking a risk, like we've seen other people take risks, some of those risks can be calculated where we can find the right person and live a fulfilled, happy relationship.
Right. And I mean, let's just be honest, all relationships, there is risk involved, right?
Correct.
You are essentially entrusting your emotions, your who you are, your all of that into another person's hands. And so therefore there is a natural, if you will, there is an uncertainty.
Right.
I think the main thing is don't let your uncertainties become a paralyzing fear,
right?
Or become something that now begins to drive a wedge between you and your significant other. That you allow the fact that yes, we're working through this together, and I'm just as nervous about where this is going as you are, but not letting that become an overriding thing that now I'm always accusing, or I'm always looking for the other shoe to drop, or I'm always looking for how is this going to end.
Right.
Enjoy the relationship, and yes, if there are signs, of course, take notice of the signs.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right. If there's an actual sign, then address it.
Right.
I think the problem is we don't address it, and then it keeps building in a certain area without addressing it. It's like, this is how I'm feeling. This is the fear I'm sensing based off of you doing this. And then if the person can say, okay, well, that's not based on anything, and you don't have anything concrete, then you have to move forward. Like the scripture says, anything done in the dark, it will show up in the light.
Show up. Yep.
And so just just looking for the spotlight or being a spotlight where there's nothing in the dark,
Right.
that could be a situation or cause a problem or a rift in a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
But if you can make a decision like, you know what, I'm going to be present, I'm going to be in the moment, I'm going to enjoy the time that I have. And then if it's time for me to move on, I'm going to move on.
Right.
You know, but if I'm enjoying the relationship that it can lead to something else, then I'm going to make sure I'm going to be present in that relationship.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing. If there's nothing else that you get as a takeaway from this relationship tip, be present in the relationship. That means that you're not so concerned about the future and what could happen in the future that you miss out on what's happening right now.
And don't let fear be a bondage.
Yeah. All right. That's the relationship that we've got for you. There's more in the playlist there that you can see, but make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, hit the like button, request notifications, and we've got more tips, more conversations coming your way. Have a great one. Be blessed.
Bless.